Okay, so I'm genuinely confused why people are so upset about this video. This is a comment off of Emily Saxton's video about meeting Cody Rhodes, and I commented on it that, that's why I love Cody. And then someone replied to me with this. So, Emily posted that she went to a wrestling show and took a picture with Cody and said that, she asked Cody a question about if he had any advice or anything for her people in like her situation or whatever the question was. And all she said was he did answer and gave her some advice, but that she was keeping it quiet. Kind of between them, which I mean, it's understandable, we all don't have to, say every conversation that we have with someone, especially if they have such a big meaning to us. We all have our own reasons why we think a wrestler is such an inspiration to us, and we're not obligated to share that information because sometimes it's just too personal. More oftentimes than one, there is the same exact reason with wrestlers why they might be our favorite, but in some cases, someone might be going through something totally different that wrestler can help them get through. And again, we're not obligated to spill that out on the internet. I have a video of me meeting Toni Storm and, me giving her a present that I made for her. And behind the scenes, I had a good heart-to-heart, one-on-one talk with Toni that nobody knows about because it's between her and I. I can say the same thing about Priscilla Kelly when I met Priscilla Kelly. She followed me back on Instagram for reasons that nobody else really needs to know besides, again, her and I. It was our conversation. It was her wanting to check up on me multiple times. Yes, I talked to Priscilla Kelly here and there on Instagram for reasons that she wants to check in with me. Nobody's obligated to give full information just because they work with social media. We post what we want to post about wrestling and wrestlers and our meets with them, but we don't have to disclose what we talk about with them if we don't want to, if we find it, again, too personal to spill on the internet in this exact moment. Not to say down the line it won't happen, but in the moment, just be happy for Emily Saxton that she got to meet Cody and got to tell him what she needed to tell him and receive some information back. Because, that's just what these wrestlers do. Some of them give their time and energy and dedication. Some don't. That's okay. Especially for Cody to do this in the middle of a show. Like, it was just after his match and he went to take a picture and he stopped and listened and gave some heartfelt advice. Not everybody needs to be nosy and know what the information is. If Emily wants to keep that to herself, she can keep that to herself. She can post it whenever she feel like she needs to, whenever she wants to, and that's just nobody else's business besides hers. I'm sure plenty of other people out there have stories of themselves with wrestlers and such, and they're not gonna go spilling it because again, it's some things are just too personal with personal connections, and it's not anybody else's place or say or anything on being nosy to know that kind of information. Sorry, not sorry. Again, just be happy for her or anybody else that has connections with wrestlers like that and can be inspired by wrestlers to keep going with dreams, keep pushing on with life, whatever the information might be. They can hold on to that and soar with it by themselves. It costs nothing to be kind. It costs nothing really to just stick to yourself. And, yeah, it's exciting to know that someone's meeting a wrestler. I see how people are upset about this video that, she's like, I got advice from Cody, and then she just paused and said, but I'm going to keep that to myself. That's totally fine. I mean, yeah, that's totally fine if she wants to keep it to herself. I mean, not everything that personal needs to be spread out everywhere on social media, especially if it means that much to her or anybody else. That's it.